Hello everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with another tabletop video review. Today we are checking out the Gamo 430 CO2 dual ammo BB pellet pistol. And again, this is the tabletop review. I will be following this review up with a field test shooting video where I'll be shooting the gun, testing the velocity along with the accuracy here in the indoor Replica Airguns shooting range, which is a C-can by the way. Now, just to let you know, at the time of this video, we don't actually have it in stock in our Canada store, but it is listed there, so I'll put a link in the description. Hopefully when you're watching this video, it will be back in stock, and hopefully we'll have it in our US store at some point. So if you want to check out replicairguns.us, hopefully we'll have it there down the road as well. Now, this product does come in a clamshell, right, like this. Got a few things on it. BBs, I think I cut that off, pellets or BBs. Right there, 12 gram CO2, removable magazine, right? Lower accessory rail, 495 FPS. So it does have a fairly high claimed FPS and some similar information on the back. 0.177, 4.5 BB or pellet, blade and ramp front, fixed open rear sight, 16 shot, removable magazine, manual trigger block, smoothbore barrel, 495 FPS. And then we have the overall length of 7.854. And we have the weight of 0.951 pounds. I think I pretty much got that also in my specifications, but I might have the overall length off a little bit as I just measured it myself. All right, so let's check out really quickly. Well, we're not even gonna really check it out, but it's got one of these paper manuals where if you undo it or open it up, you'll never get it back together again, but you're gonna find all the specifications, you know, how to put CO2 in, how to tighten it all. I'm gonna kind of go show you that anyway, so definitely read the manual when you buy this gun, and then hopefully you can get it back together when you're done. All right, let's go over some of the specifications. This is a non-blowback BB pellet pistol. It uses a single 12 gram CO2 cartridge. It shoots 4.5 millimeter steel BBs or .177 caliber pellets, whatever you want to use. It has a 16 shot stick magazine, so it's a dual rotary 8 round magazine. So each end has its own 8 round magazine. It's rotary. It has a velocity of 495 FPS, and I would assume that's using the 4.5 millimeter steel BBs as they are a little bit lighter, but sometimes the pellets will seal off better in the barrel and shoot pretty similar FPS at the end of the day, as long as they're not super heavy pellets. This gun has the fixed front and rear sight. It has a Picatinny rail underneath for accessories, and it weighs in at 0.94 pounds or 427 grams. I measured it at 8 inches total length, but it's slightly less than that on the box. And it has a crossbolt safety. It also is a mostly all plastic build with only a few metal components in it, some internal parts I would imagine. And it's also made in Japan, distributed again by Gamo. Now it does look a little bit like a SIG P-228 or M17, so let's take a look at these guns. It's not exact, it's a little different, but if you look at these guns side by side, they do have a similar look, a little bit different trigger guard, right? Different, you know, working mechanical parts, but the basic shape, pistol grip, shape of the gun, very similar. That's a P28. Wrong gun here. That's a P226, sorry. And this is a M17. Again, very similar gun, very similar shape to the SIG. This just has the extended magazine and stuff on it. So there you go. All right, so at this point, we're gonna have a look around this gun, take a good look at it. Okay, so here you have your plastic, all plastic, no blowback. It's basically 2 halves molded. You can see you have the screws on the one side, which are kind of a telltale sign it's not a real gun. But if you don't look too closely, it's going to look pretty much like a P2 something, right? SIG of some sort. So you have some instructions on here, information, Gamo 430, that's what they call it. You have the safety, crossbolt, right? Model 430 again, caliber, right there. You have a magazine release, so all plastic magazine with the rotary on each end, holds 8 BBs or pellets. And it's spring loaded, so it just kind of springs out. You don't have to worry about gravity doing it for you. Now then you can also open up the gun by pulling it down there. There's some of the metal that would be inside. CO2 goes in there. You have this screw here, which is nice because now you don't have to use a tool, right? And you can kind of take it off, basically pull it from either side. You can pull it from this side too. I think that's a little easier. either way, it works. So you got just regular fixed sights, no white dot sights or anything. Okay. Molded in ejection port. Again, it's not blowback or anything, so it's not going to be too much. And the trigger does look to be metal, fairly long. It's not overly heavy. You can pull it pretty quick, so there's definitely a lot worse triggers on the market in some of these guns. Don't forget that's also turning the little rotary magazines as you pull the trigger. Okay, so here you have some more information. Basically how to use the safety, right? And you have some other, I don't even know what that is, German stuff, French stuff. Push to fire. Again, warning instructions, made in Japan, serial number. Okay, so it's nice that everything that's on the gun isn't all bright white or anything, so that is a definite benefit. Some of these guns just look horrible with all the writing and warning instructions all over the place in white. So this doesn't have any of that, so that's definitely a plus. I actually don't think I put it in my pros or cons, but that is definitely a pro. Should have added it, right? Picatinny rail. So nice gun. It looks nice, right? It's got a nice look to it. It's definitely light. It's not even a pound, but it doesn't feel cheap, you know? Everything feels pretty solid. And sometimes when a gun's light like that, if you do drop it, the lighter it is, the less likely it's going to get damaged, to be honest. Lightweight stuff just kind of just bounces off the ground, no big deal, right? Heavy metal stuff sometimes, especially with the zinc alloy that's in these air guns, can just break apart, you know, just snap and stuff. So dent for sure, scratch up a lot easier. This won't scratch much at all because it's black inside and out all the way through. So if I put a big scratch on here, you're really not going to see it like you will on other guns. It'll be all silvery underneath. This will just be black through and through. So there are some benefits to guns being designed like that. All right, so let's go over some pros and cons. It does have a claimed high velocity of 495 FPS. It's kind of nice. Hopefully it gets close to that. I'm not sure if that's going to be BBs or pellets, but we'll try both when I do my field test. And I expect lots of shots per CO2 as compared to a blowback air gun. You just get more efficiency when you're not having to make that slide work back and forth. And the simple design means it will have less to go wrong over time. It's also nice that it has a Picatinny rail for add-on accessories. And you can use either 4.5mm steel BBs or .177 caliber pellets. You get to decide. It also has a crossbolt safety to prevent accidental shots. And it does have a SIG-like look to it, which is a good thing in my books. I definitely like the way SIG pistols look. You're also going to find that double-ended stick magazine works well and does not add too much friction to the trigger pull. And it also has that well-hidden CO2 screw that doesn't require any tools to tighten and pierce the CO2. And the fit and finish is good for an inexpensive all-plastic build gun. All right, just some cons. It's mostly all plastic build, which some people are not going to be into. A lot of us like the heavier, more realistic pistols. Doesn't have any white dot sights, so it's going to be a little bit harder to see on darker backgrounds. And the sights are also non-adjustable, which is pretty much expected for a low-cost airgun like this. It's also kind of lightweight with no blowback action, so not as good realism and a bit cheaper feel to it, just because it's so lightweight. And again, that trigger is going to be a bit long because your finger is essentially doing all the work. It's cocking the hammer, it's rotating the magazine, and so you can expect it to be a little bit longer and a little bit heavier than a single action only trigger. All right, I want to remind you this product is in our Canada Replica Airgun store. Not sure if it's going to be in stock when you check it out, but it will be there eventually. And I would also expect that we'll be adding it to our US Replica Airgun store as well over time. So check out the links in the description. Or just go on over to replicairguns.ca for Canada or replicairguns.us for the US. You can search for pretty much any kind of airgun or product you're looking for right within the search engine there. We have air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories in both of those stores. Also check out replicairguns.com where I'll have a written version of this video there. You can read through it and check out some additional photos of this gun. All right, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, take care.